great to have you all here. So I guess, I think what I wanted to dive into first of all was a bit of an update on where we are on the business side, and where we've come from and how we've gotten here and where we are at the moment. So, I mean, this idea was birthed back in October last year, September, October last year. Spent a couple months, downloading all our thoughts, putting that onto paper, building the some back-end processes, setting up the legal structure, and then, as some of you maybe may have been involved in the first public sale we had in just over New Year's. And I remember at the time we launched it, like, I think 2 days before New Year's, and we're like, oh crap, why did we do it over New Year's? Everyone's going to be away from their desks. But that ended up working out well in the end anyways. So that was cool. And yeah, at the time we had a co-founding team of three, and that was the team, the team, the only team and all of the team. And we're immensely proud of how far we've come since then. I mean, we raised that round and then started hiring pretty much straight away. We had our first designer and developer on board in January, and then got Arman on board in February, and have since then been building out the team. So currently, to give you guys a little bit of an update on what the team looks like at the moment. So we have three co-founders, Thomas, Lucas, and I. We have Arman, our CTO. We have Andres, our new CFO. I just put him up on the website earlier. So if you want to check him out, feel free to do so there. He has a ton of finance experience and startup experience as well. So he's already been, on the few calls we've had, already been a great help. We've been talking about pricing. I mean, that's been a tough one, and will continue to be a tough one to crack, how exactly we price this. But he's been great to have so far, and we're slowly getting there. And then we have a dev team of three, a design team of three, and then Mark, our community manager. And we are currently expanding as well. So we're currently hiring 5 positions. We have a opening for a product lead, a design lead, a machine learning engineer, a head of marketing, so like a regular head of marketing, and then a head of Web3 marketing. And the head of Web3 marketing is, primarily focused on Web3 community growth, and pursuing avenues to achieve, higher visibility in the Web3 space, and all the typical things that just go along with building a community here in this interesting in this unique, how to say, unique world. Crypto land is sometimes how I refer to it. And it often a bit disconnected from reality in some ways, but in many ways amazing. Um, and then we're also currently working on onboarding a marketing and community growth agency. So these are some really, we've had a call with a few different ones now, and the ones that we're working on bringing on at the moment just received their final proposal earlier today. They're really, really great. They've worked with top brands, and they're really focused on authentic, like organic community growth, grassroots from the ground up, and skipping all the shallow things that some people may pursue, and really trying to tackle it from the root, from the root issue, and build it from the ground up. And so we're really excited to have them on board, and really kickstart this community effort, because that is something we do genuinely want to cultivate properly. I mean, we have a great opportunity here by, our product itself is a large part of it is going to be catered towards individuals. So it's a B2C platform, and it's a dual-sided marketplace. So we have users and developers, and I think we have a great opportunity here to build a community of our users, of our developers, and then bringing in the Web3 stakeholders as well, and that overlap between all three. And that's something we haven't been super great at so far, to be frank. And that's something we really want to work on more, and put a lot of genuine effort into this. And that's, basically starting today now with these calls. We're gonna have bi-weekly dev updates, and then facilitate like a Q&A, AMA after each dev update. So I think the dev updates will typically come in a written format, and then we'll be doing some calls where people can hop on and ask away at any questions they may have, and we can dive deep into what we're working on and bring you guys along. Because I think we can really, yeah, really create something special here. We're not some fly-by-night company. We're trying to build a real long-term sustainable business with a multi-dimensional stakeholders that each can contribute in their own unique ways. And I think if we can bring it all together properly, we can build something quite special. And the reality is, without a community, especially when you're doing something like this, like a B2C consumer platform, say hi Armand's thing there. Without your community, you have no user base. People aren't gonna come, and it's something that is incredibly powerful if done properly. So yeah, I guess I've said my bit on that now. Um, and yeah, and then some other things on that front, as we're bringing on this agency and bringing on our head of Web3 marketing role, we're gonna work on a strategy and start getting more people in here, getting more people excited, getting more people coming to the Discord, coming into our Twitter. And once we have some more people, some more user inflow, we're gonna start some more typical, marketing things like Zila campaigns, contests, Discord mini games. And until that happens, we're just gonna sort of focus on this kind of interaction and trying to get to know you all and give you guys a bigger insight into what we're doing so you can actually understand what we're doing and engage in a more detailed and an authentic way, as opposed to some fragmented information here and there, and just some stuff from our website. And now that we have the white paper out, I think that's really gonna help a lot. So anyone can, I mean, it's a long read, but anyone can go and reference things, and we have something to go off of instead of someone speaking a little bit about this part, a little bit about that part, and it being kind of fragmented. Then I wanted to speak about fundraising as well. So we did a couple rounds in January. So we did a small pre-seed and then our seed round, which I think a couple of you participated in. And so now that we have this white paper out, off the back of this, we're going to start a strategic round. So essentially trying to raise some strategic capital that, one, is funding to provide us some runway for our development and marketing expenditure and operating expenditure. And then additionally, to find some, sort of value add investors who can bring on partnerships, networks, connections, things of that nature, and not just capital. I mean, I'm sure many of you are aware there's a large excess of capital in the crypto space looking to find a good home. And it isn't just money we're after here. We're trying to build some longer term relationships and partnerships with people who can help in any way they can, and be value add instead of just value extractive. So with that, we're going to be doing this round. Once we conclude that, we're going to be launching an LBP, which is any permissionless by nature, so anyone can hop on and participate there. And then, given that we're doing a larger strategic round now, the LBP will have a cap, so we're going to set a cap on it. I think LBPs are actually starting to turn around now, so some of them are actually going up instead of down only. But a reason a lot of them were going down only is because the teams would basically set them up and soak up all of the market demand within that time period, and then anyone who wanted to buy was already in the token, and then once it launched on a DEX, there was no more demand. Once the price starts to sink below the LBP, people panic, people capitulate, and then you get these down-only charts from LBPs. So we're actually going to be having a set cap on what we're going to raise. Once we hit that cap, that's going to be it. We're going to close it, and anyone else who wants to come in will have to come in on the open market. And then the LBP, what we do raise is the majority of it is going to be used for liquidity provisions. So one on decentralized exchanges, or primarily just one decentralized exchange is going to be Uniswap liquidity pool. and then keeping some of it for exchange listings as well, because those cost quite a pretty penny. So pretty much all of what we raise in the LBP will actually be for liquidity, hence the name Liquidity Bootstrapping Pool. And we're gonna basically pursue that as it was intended. And yeah, I guess now would love to hand over to Arman to give a bigger or a deeper insight into how this has all started on the technical and development front, where we came from, what we've been up to so far, what we've built so far, what stage we're at right now, and where we're going in the future. So I'll stop talking here.
Thank you very much. Oh wow, he also left. I'm wondering now if I should already have done that when you were speaking. I hope you can hear me well, and thank you for joining us today. I am very happy actually to be with you today because we don't really get to speak a lot about what we're building, what we're achieving. It's almost like we're in a secret lab in the basement of a large building, like cooking up new formulas and stuff. And we've achieved a lot of first things out, like we haven't achieved AGI, but we have achieved a lot of successes only known to us, and maybe this is our chance to share them with you. Um, yeah, Storm, unfortunately, we're not there yet, but maybe. So I also like improvisation a lot, right? So maybe let's start with that first, because I also don't have much of a chance to talk about like AI development and stuff. For those of you who have not researched my background, I have I've been in this business for quite some time. I had a degree on machine learning. Back then it was called signal processing about 15 years ago, and on brain signals, on processing brain signals, hence the EEG cap on my LinkedIn photo and our, I don't know what it's called. Is it called what is it? Is it an emoji? A badge? A don't even know the name. Doesn't matter. That thing, that
Yeah, just
image.
just an emoji. You're muted, Tim. If you were just
Yeah.
saying.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So in that emoji as well. So I have published a couple of papers on giving meaning to brain signals and letting people type with their brain signals. And then I switched back to software. And with the rise of the newer generation of artificial intelligence, I'm back in the game. So I have quite a lot of background and understanding and research and like current work on AI. Um, and what I truly believe is the models, the foundational models that we have at hand right now, GPT-4, Claude 3, they have an understanding, an inherent understanding of language, how language works. And I think that is more than enough for general intelligence. Now, the rest is not a technological breakthrough. I think the rest is practically us encoding reasoning and intelligence in the form of language. We haven't been able to do that yet. Maybe this was something I talked about in the first community call as well. But how do you know that English is the best language to speak to AI when it comes to you asking AI to do something for you? Maybe a different language of the world works better in terms of the relationships between words, because in the end, this is a statistical model. So now I think AGI will primarily be in the forms of this codification without another technological breakthrough. Um, so like the architecture that we have since GPT-3 is still the same. It's great. It's improving through human feedback, what we call reinforcement learning through human feedback. And I guess the rest is on application developers to make sure that they make something useful out of it. And that's practically what we're trying to achieve. In February, we started with an ideation of how such a platform could look like in terms of functions and methodologies of achieving a an autonomous teamwork between agents and humans alike. And arguably, I think collaboration is not really a solved problem yet, even in the human space. And like with human level intelligence, it's kind of difficult to collaborate with people. And we're trying to bring that into AI, into generative AI. And we started by like ideating what this platform would require, because it's like something very straightforward to put out a marketplace, right? Imagine any two-sided marketplace. You could get a script, I don't know, buy something from the internet, like a template, and then you could customize it however you like. So building a marketplace is not the deal. The deal is building something that will really work for the people. And by that, I mean establish trust in AI, which is right now nowhere to be found. Like people practically use ChatGPT as a little bit more advanced version of Google. So we want these agents to do work for us. So we came up with the idea of a collaboration framework and a cognition framework. Now, the collaboration framework is an API that brings together multiple agents from different developers who don't know anything about one another or their capabilities, yet still allows them a shared understanding and access to a workspace. And that workspace includes tasks, includes chat, file management, and more. So that is like where human teams work. And on top of that, we also thought of a cognition framework, which allows each and every agent that is developed by other parties that are not us, independent developers, to have almost human-like reasoning capabilities, because we believe that this is almost impossible to program, and independent developers would have a really hard time in building reasoning into their agents. So we thought that would be a great idea if we gave them a something to start with. Like if they didn't have to manage their memory, if they didn't have to manage quality assurance, if their agents are meeting the requirements or not. And so we set out with this idea, and then in this last, well, maybe like 3 months, let's say, we have now a platform that allows people to sign up either as an end user or as a agent developer. For developers, you can create API keys to connect to our API and tap into any workspace that your agent has been added to receive updates about whatever is happening in that workspace. And for the end users, you can sign up to our marketplace and immediately start creating your studio, host any number of agents in a studio, and then start working with them. So now we have an end-to-end platform already that works with an initial set of agents that we have built, and we have achieved some great levels of success there, and I hope we're going to be able to share them with you later on. But one of the bigger problems in this kind of work, autonomous work, is that you have a lot of data and a lot of use cases in multiple applications on the web, right? Now, how can a startup like us integrate with all of those things and be useful to you? It's very difficult. So what we have done is to practically create a mechanism that autonomously browses the web for you. Any web page, think of Gmail or Calendar or Maps or any productivity tool like, I don't know, Jira or Linear. Visit any web page, log in with your user credentials, do whatever task you ask it to do, and then report back to you. For example, you can say, here are my Gmail credentials. Log into my Gmail and send an email to this person saying X, Y, Z. This is what some other companies call large action model, practically doing work on your behalf. And this was a very tough challenge to crack that would make our platform ultimately more useful. And last week, we were able to release this internally, practically an agent that does whatever you want it to do on the web for you. It could be ordering some groceries or some garments or returning them, working with DHL or other companies, whatever you like, without an API integration. We can now do work on the internet for you. This combines practically next level algorithms of vision plus understanding of what we have built so far, an internal reasoning framework about what to do on a web page. We don't know where the user credentials or input boxes are, where we should enter the username or the password, or how to get around CAPTCHAs. So we had to build solutions for all of those things. The upside is we're not rushing to the market like some of the hardware that you can buy today that incorporate a large action model and cause a disappointment in the users. But we're making sure that these tools are reliable, secure, and you can use them without second thinking or guessing, and then without creating any disappointment. And we have right now, I guess, like as of today, we have released the next level of collaboration, which we call internally as human in the loop, because this is a collaborative system and you are not driving the platform. You just like put your team together and say, hey, I want you to work on X. And then that team talks to one another, and then you, if they need anything from you, like if they need to, visit any APIs, if they need any API keys from you, any instructions, or to present their work to you for quality assurance, for manual quality assurance. So the agents now have a framework to reach out back to you when they need you, so that we minimize hallucinations and these like weird AI behavior. So very exciting. We now have, we can let developers sign up on our platform, bring their APIs that they host on other platforms through a webhook and a REST API. And we also let people build agents on our platform as well. So if you have used any ChatGPT agent, I'm not sure what they call it. ChatGPT, it's an agent store. They have
the GPT store.
Yeah, GPT store. I guess they just call custom GPTs, right? So we also built that functionality in, of course. So like if you don't find anything that you're looking for in the marketplace, you can easily build your own, as easy as possible. And by default, it's going to have access to all of these collaboration tools of like task creation or understanding. Like if anyone creates and assigns a task to that agent, it's going to be able to operate on that. And it's going to be able to visit the web and do work on your behalf, just like any other agent on the platform. So this is like next level custom GPT. Just with a system prompt, you can achieve practically autonomous agents, because it will have access to like all the memory functionality that we have developed. And we're actually now working on even further concepts that we haven't clearly specified in our white paper, but we want to capitalize on insights and meaning of whatever is going on, and building a knowledge base or a set of habits over time for each agent that is working with you, so that they learn you better and better with every single task or project that you work with, that you give to them. So that is the next level. And we haven't really finalized the date yet, but we are also looking forward to opening up our platform to the early adopters very soon, in terms of either developers or end users, because we just want to share what we've built with you. And we're going to be looking forward to what you create with the ecosystem that we have created. So far, we have this platform. People can sign up and use, create workspaces. It's an end-to-end platform. You bring your idea and select your team members, and or build new team members for yourself, and you work with them. in a studio and they do work for you. Practically managing tasks, files, folders, giving your reports, running code on your behalf, or debugging code for you, writing reports, creating charts, anything that you would expect from a modern AI platform that they don't deliver yet are delivered by our agents and their collaboration today. So some of the use cases we use it for is like a competitor analysis and historical trends analysis, because the agents can now scour the web, pull the data, or even like log into your custom proprietary systems and pull the data from those systems. Like think of any admin screen, turn that into a CSV, parse that information, turn it into a chart, and present it to you as a PDF. So this is what we've built so far. And yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing it all with you.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for that. I mean, this is super exciting on our end, like having come from nothing only several months ago, less than a year ago, and now having a functional platform. Obviously still needs a fair amount of fine tuning and still has
Right.
a lot of work to be done in adding new capabilities and really making it more robust and comprehensive. But I mean, we're at a great spot where we are at already, and we're just going to continue to build something really special here. And yeah, as Armand said, in not too long, we'll be able to share everything with you guys. So that's also super exciting. We're right now working on shortlisting a few sort of agent developers slash influencers. I mean, there's a few key YouTubers, for example, who have large followings, who build their own agents and then create videos about them. So we're making a short list on a few of those and going to start building some relationships there, and working on selecting a few key developers who also have some internet presence, to start working on a sort of iterative process on one, having them build agents to seed the marketplace with, then testing those agents, and then creating some sort of communication lines between us and their communities, and what do people want to see on the marketplace, and then go from there. Once we have that ready, then start opening it up for users to actually start using these agents, and then just continue, and then launch in October. I think is the plan, October, November. So that's it seems like several months away, but it's going to go by very quick, I'm sure. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much all we wanted to say on this update. Let me just see. Yes, a lot of really exciting and cool use cases that are going to come, and this is only going to get better and better. I mean, if you think that our platform is essentially, with its agnostic nature, like we're not having like in a lot of platforms where they have their own framework, for example, or your own blockchain, you have to say, hey, developers, come build on us, come build with Solidity, come build with our language. And we don't do any of that. We can make use of any language, any framework, any developer, and as such, we're essentially a proxy for any and all AI growth that there is. Any advancement that happens on an agent front or on the LLM front can be leveraged and integrated into what happens on our platform, and we grow with the market, which is, I think, a really exciting proposition, as opposed to just trying to build our own proprietary agents, and compete with everyone else on a similar thing. So yeah, really, really exciting, and can't wait to get this into the hands of people and start working with you all as well to see, what's working, what's not working, what do you like, what do you not like, what do you want to see, what do you not want to see. And yeah, I guess looking forward to building this relationship a bit further. I mean, there's only 5 of us in the audience, one of which is David, one of our developers. And that's okay, we got to start somewhere, and we're excited to have you four with us. I think that's better than none. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot them down right now. And looking forward to the next stages. I mean, bringing on this community growth agency and all the other all the other personnel I mentioned earlier, and really get things going. Obviously, things have been going full steam ahead on the back end for quite some time, but bringing, sort of leaving stealth mode and charging forward on the more public facing matters. Yeah. So if no one has any questions, I guess that's it then. I mean, thanks for joining. And we'll be having our next our first dev update. Well, I guess you can call this the inaugural dev update. Our second dev update will be coming in a couple weeks' time, and then hopefully you all have had a chance to look this through, read our white paper. It is really worth reading the whole thing. I know it probably tires your eyes after a little bit, but do read it. It is worth it, and gives a really deep and nuanced understanding into what we're doing, the proposition, not only on a technical side, but on what the actual business opportunity is here, and how we're tackling that. So yeah, I guess with that, we'll say thanks for joining and look forward to seeing you all on the next one.